Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another full gameplay commentary. So this is likely my first video of the new year. Just wanted to get some things straight real quick. I will be continuing to post. I extremely appreciate all the feedback. I would
Welcome
love
to
any recommendations
Summoner's
on champions
Rift.
or lanes or roles that you guys would want me to play. Just
There's
leave a comment
beauty
and
in
let me
even the
know and I
smallest
will
moments.
get that done. I guarantee it. So, especially while
Minions
not that
have
many people are
spawned.
watching, if you have a recommendation, I will take it. This commentary is going to be slightly different than previous ones. This game I'm going to try my best to play the lane properly,
The
but also
world
talk
is mine
about
to discover.
um, some frequently asked questions I get from people I've coached in the
I'll give you the
past,
freedom you desire.
players I've coached either currently on a team or previously on a team, when it comes to solo queue and climbing and things like this. So we're going to do that while we play this very, very common matchup of Ahri into Sylas. So I can't believe that hit me.
Mortal
A little
lives
bit
are
rusty
so
coming back.
fleeting.
I was gone for quite a while on vacation and then had a lot of IRL things to do, so I have played about 4 games of the new season. But we're getting back into the swing of things for sure. Anyways, the first question that I wanted to tackle was
I
like
see all that you are.
um involves like how many champions people like to play, right? There's a question I get quite a bit from people when it comes to like solo queue and climbing is like how many champs should they be playing, right? Like how many champs should I be practicing at once, right? And I think this is a really important topic because
Don't
a lot of
tempt
people
me.
play way too many champions. If your goal is to improve and if your goal is to climb,
Feel
which can
this.
kind of go hand in hand sometimes, it depends, but sometimes it can go hand in hand. Fuck that guy. Then playing
I'm
a
on board,
ginormous
but I'm
champion
not
ocean worth
last.
of picks is not worth it, right? Um, especially if you're playing on a team, I would stick to either 3 to 5 champions that you're trying to learn how to play for comp.
You're safe with me.
Kill me.
I am the wild.
I could have flashed for him. I'll flash for him in a second.
Light on my feet.
He's
First
made sure to get the auto in so my W would be
Never let
targeted.
you
But that
suffer.
was good. It's hard to talk and play, so my bad on that. I'm gonna try my best though. This is still high elo. Like I said, I have only played like 3 or 4 games, so I'm not even done with placements on a single account. But it's still, like Master or GM or something. All the ranks are a little bit wonky because it's a new season. But anyways, to keep going on what I was talking about. The more champions you play at once, the harder it
This
is,
place
or like the
reminds
more
me of
diluted your
home.
practice is, right? If you play, say, like 10 champions in a 20 game span, you're averaging like 2 games per champion, you're not really getting enough practice, right? Say you want to learn how to play Ahri, if you play Ahri 2 games out of 20, like you're going to be playing 2 random
Just a
matchups that
taste.
you don't get to dictate, and you're not really going to learn how to play the champion. In my opinion, the use of solo queue when it comes to
an
comp,
ally
like
has been
where it finds
slain.
use, is
An enemy
learning
has
how to
been
play your
slain.
champion in lane, learning the matchups, and practicing those matchups, right? Another really good form of
I
practice
won't
that I
forget
preach
what
to
it
all the
means
mid
to
laners I
steal a
coach
life.
is 1v1s, right? Anytime I'm
Let's rush.
in a part of an org that has multiple rosters, we are constantly playing 1v1s between all the mid laners because playing a matchup over and over and over creates consistency, and the more knowledge you have of a
A
matchup,
body
the
nourished, a
better you'll
soul
perform
fed.
in the matchup when you get the matchup right. In solo queue, you don't get to choose who you're playing against. That's why it's important to get high reps on certain the
Out
same
on my
champions,
feet.
rather than
Gotcha.
let's see if we can kill this guy, rather than just playing it every once in a while when you feel like
My
it.
true nature.
Nice. So
I'll
yeah, my
cherish these
advice,
memories
stick to
forever.
3 to 5-ish champions at the most. Um, for example, I'll use myself as an example. Whenever I was trying really, really hard to improve my laning phase, I was also trying to climb up the ranks in Challenger,
Quick
go
as a
from like top
fox.
300 to top 250 to top 200 and go like this. I was
Nature
very
here is
serious
too
about trying to
quiet.
get better at my laning phase because it was my weakest point in my game. Um, especially in competitive. I was playing 4 champions at the time in solo queue. I was practicing Ahri because she's versatile and you can blind pick her. I was practicing Syndra and Orianna because they were my control mages of choice at the time. And then I was practicing Sylas because I needed something that could be volatile, maybe counter pick potential,
So
and
much I
something that
want to
can be
see for
strong in
myself.
multiple different team comps, right? That was the 4 champions I was playing. I had one fifth champion that was strictly my AD option, right? I would pick Tristana mid if I had to be AD, and the only time I had to be AD is if I had multiple teammates who were picking magic damage. And that was the only criteria. I would never pick Tristana any other time. But what this did is it gave me much more consistent practice, right? Even if one game I don't get to play a matchup that I played a bunch, I can try to kill this guy again. Nice. Like even if I play, you know, like say I play 3 solo queue games, I blind pick Ahri in all of the games, I don't get to play against a matchup that I practice all the time. That's good practice, right? Like I don't want to, but if I play like one Ahri game a week, then I'm really not gonna get better at the champion in the ways that I want to. So that's kind of the philosophy behind it. I would say like it's really important to stick to this, right? There are times where like um, I could pick Syndra into a certain matchup, but I knew Lux was better, or I knew like Victor was better, Azir was better, and I stuck with Syndra because I was super focused on trying to get better at Syndra. And if you try and spread yourself too thin, you're really not getting better at anything. That's like at least my take. Any point in like whenever I was competing constantly, if my coach had an idea of a champion he wanted me to try out or something like this, I could give it a game or two, maybe on an alt account or something like that. But it was mainly just to feel it out. And if I liked it, like say I'm gonna start playing Rise a bunch, I would drop Orianna for it, right? I'm completely shifting away from playing Orianna and solo queue because I want to learn the Rise matchups more importantly, right? Doesn't mean that I can't play Orianna in comp, because obviously I'm comfortable piloting the champion in a competitive setting. But if I want to get better at my laning phase, I need to get as many reps as possible. And I got that through playing very limited amounts of champions in solo queue and playing 1v1s as much as I could.
I'm living my
There we go.
best life.
Let's see what we can do here. I need the wave to collapse. This is probably bad. I'm gonna block this from my teammate. Chomp him away from me. Sylas messed up there. He should have taken my ult, but it's okay. This guy is having a hard time. I'm not gonna walk this way because Jace could easily be there, so I'm gonna walk the safe way. Oh yeah, I mean I could dive it. I don't really need to go back to lane. This is kind of a crazy game. Oh. So hard. I need your kill. We're all dead here. Tough. That was a good stall by him. No problem. Yeah, sorry. Kind of focusing, kind of talking. So hard to do both, but yeah, I mean, it was a mistake to go for any extra dive, but I wanted to follow my teammate's goal. But yeah. Another question I get a lot is like, how many
Not
like
even Cloud Fruit could erase that memory.
what champions should I pick, right? Like the first thing I went over is how many champions you should try and stick to. The next question a lot of people ask me is like, okay, well, what should I play, right? And this question is a lot less like structured, right? In my opinion,
I hear the wind
you know,
singing.
every player is different. Every player has preferences, right? I like to play control mages. I don't really like to play assassins. That's why I have literally one melee champion in my entire champ pool of champions I'm trying to practice in solo queue. But if you like to play assassins or something, you know, like you can add a couple more. You don't have to play Syndra and Orianna just because they're like meta and competitive, right? Especially if you're in like low to mid elos, anything below like GM elo, it doesn't really matter what you play as long as you're comfortable on it and you practice it a bunch. So I would say if you're trying to come up with your own champion pool, just look for like a cast of like a few diverse champions, right? That can fulfill a couple different roles, not four of the exact same champion. And something that you like to play. It doesn't really matter what it is, you know. Like I mentioned with my 4 champions before, you could be someone who wants to play Azir, Victor, Ziggs, and Akali. I don't know. Like as long as your champions are relatively like under the same umbrella of like how they want to function in a game, it's not really that deep of what champions you have to pick, right? Like the only thing I would suggest is like don't pick like 4 of the hardest mechanically challenging champions that you don't really need to be playing, right? If someone came up to me and said they were playing mid lane Riven, mid lane, Akali, and then mid lane like Varus or something, like these don't really make sense. They're not anywhere near the same type of practice or mechanics, and that's kind of just not helpful at all. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on how you pick your champions. Just pick champions you like to play, right? I've coached people who have been assassin players. I've coached people who have been control mage players. I've coached people who really like to play artillery mages. I've played against people who really like, you know, different archetypes. It's just up to you. So don't let anybody like force you to play anything. Of course, if you're on a team, especially like a higher rated team, playing what's strong will definitely, you know, give you a better chance to win, and you can kind of
I'll
talk to
have
your
them
team about
chasing
what
your
your
tail.
comfort is and like where that fits in the
Oh,
meta.
don't go.
It's not the end of the world if you play some unconventional champions, in my opinion. Especially in solo queue. One tricks go crazy in solo queue. You know, I lose all the time to like Kiana mid OTPs, and I've never played against Kiana one single time in comp. So,
There's beauty in even the
um,
smallest
yeah.
moments.
Another question I get a lot,
An
which
enemy has been
is
slain.
probably, you know, highly debatable, and it's just my opinion, so it's not the end of the world if you disagree. I'm gonna go try this guy. Okay, I can take it. I can take it. Alright, where's Sylas? There he is.
You're mine now.
Fought for the cause.
Kind of don't want to do this. Can I escort you out, bud? Thank you very much. I didn't want a repeat of what happened last time. But yeah, anyways, how many games should you be playing, right? If you're seriously trying to improve, I'm of the opinion that playing a bunch of games, like an absurd amount of games, is
The
just
world
never
is
healthy,
mine to
right?
discover.
Going back to like my own experience when it comes to this, right? Something that I learned really early on was that like playing 10 plus games a day is not how you improve, because improvement comes from conscious
I
effort
see
on
all
trying
that
to get
you
better at
want.
things, right? Every single solo queue game I played on my climbs have been with intention the entire time. I'm gonna die here. Oh, wow. I deserve to die here.
You have slain an enemy.
That's okay though. I'm gonna die. Nice. But yeah, anyway, so what I was trying to say is, all of the solo queue games I play, whenever I'm trying really hard to climb and improve, are with extreme intent, right? I'm trying super, super hard to think about every single decision that I make. I am consciously, every single click that I make has a purpose, right? And
I may have
when you
9
play solo queue
tails,
games like
but
that,
I have
it's like a
unlimited
whole
lives.
different kind of game, right? Most
Let's
people play
run.
solo queue, they want to
An
climb, but
enemy has been
they just
slain.
kind of coin flip their way, you know, hands if people, not think about their thought process, not think about the decisions they're making, just hope that they stumble into good situations instead of like consciously trying to create advantages from the smallest thing, like denying minions to, you know, taking space, you know. Um, which is why I think that when you do that, you don't really improve as much. You're autopiloting. And if you're autopiloting, nothing really, no improvement can really come from it. Yeah, you might gain
An
LP, but
ally
that's
has
not
been
really
slain.
the best way to get
Shall we?
better. And in my opinion, if you get better, LP will come. That's just how it works.
Breathtaking.
We're gonna wait for our W to be up here before we use our next ult charge. Nice. So yeah, what I'm trying to, my solution to this, right? What I'm trying to get at is, I would say when you play a session of League games, I would stick to 3-ish
Your
games, 3
team
to
has
5
destroyed a
games.
turret.
If you have a long day and you can play multiple sessions, that's great. But I would never play more than 5, and I would always try and play just a couple of games. And it doesn't matter if I win or lose them, I'm gonna hop off right after that. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to just completely log off and don't think about League anymore, right? You know what I would do whenever I would not be playing solo queue, right? Whether I went on a lose streak and I didn't want to play anymore, or I wasn't playing too great, or I was really satisfied with my play of
I
the day.
wander,
That's when
but
I
I'm
boot up
not
the
lost.
VOD reviews and start getting on that review grind, right? Like reviewing your own games is step one, right? Reviewing with other people, even your friends, right? You don't even your teammates, anybody. It doesn't have to be someone who's better than you. Or, like you can review with anyone, and I
I don't
promise you,
play
you're
with my
going to
food.
notice things that you do that are bad.
Quick as a
Because when
fox.
you're playing the game, it's just so much more difficult to consciously like be aware of the things that you might be messing up. So, in my opinion, the best way to improve is to play a limited number of games and then
This
use
place
valuable
reminds me
time
of
that you
home.
would be like just spam queuing and use it to review instead.
What's yours is
So this
mine.
guy's fighting spirit. Wow, good thing. Oh, we didn't. Oh, it didn't matter. Like, we didn't hit the thing, but maybe they were still hit the thing. Whatever. So yeah, that was kind of my regiment, especially when I was playing in an ACL. It was like I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna do whatever I have to do when it comes to school or whatever, and I'm gonna allot myself time to play 3 games-ish a day, right? And if I have extra time, I'll review. And if I don't have extra time, no problem. 3 games a day. I mean, that's 21 games a week. Do we really need to play more than 21 games a week? Not really. And then like on days where you have more or less time, that can be a little 5-game series for yourself instead of 3 games, right? Like that's completely fine. You can get 20 to 25 games a week and not have any sort of downside. You honestly don't even need that many, right? Like I would say you could even do 3 games a week, 5 days a week,
Nature here
right?
is too
And
quiet.
still be completely fine as long as you're using other more valuable time reviewing rather than just autopilot queuing. And take my word for it, if you truly, truly are playing solo queues with the sole focus to improve, and you're consciously thinking about all the decisions you make throughout the entire game, you will not want to play more than 3 games a day because, or at least in a session, you will not want to play more than 3 games within a session because doing this is extremely draining and it is not easy, right? Trying to focus on not particularly your like mistakes, but focus on what you're doing and give intent to every click you have, right? Why are you clicking here? Why are you fighting now? Why
Like
are
this
you not
forest,
fighting
I
now?
am
What are we
wild.
playing for? All of these are great questions that you don't need, like that you should have the answer to when you play, right? If someone were sitting behind you or you were watching your game back, you should be able to tell whoever is watching your game with you what you're thinking, what your thought process was at the time,
Live
and
with
why you
no
made a
regrets.
decision. That doesn't mean you were right all the time, right? You might have taken a terrible fight, but
Light on my
if you give a reason on why you thought it was good, then that means you were thinking about it. If you just take a terrible fight and then you review it later and you're like, why did you take that fight? And you're like, oh, I don't know. Like, that means we're not consciously thinking about it. See if we can get this fight going our way. We got 2, but looks like that's all we're gonna get. I'll probably have to flash this. We'll see if he goes for me. He doesn't. My ADC is here now, so I'm gonna play a little bit slowed down. I'll probably have to flash now because I thought Kaisa was gonna keep fighting.
An ally has been slain.
Maybe she DC'd him. Everyone's kind of thinking her.
A summoner has
Oh yeah, she definitely DC'd. No problem, no problem. Back to my point, right? Limited games, but conscious effort and review, right? If you don't want to review your own games, go watch pro players, right? There's tons of YouTube videos. You can watch it like
Remember
where
this
they can play
moment.
specific matchups, right? Like something that I used to bring to all my 1v1 sessions with the people that I coached was I would bring multiple YouTube videos that entailed exactly how pro players, the best players in the world, would pilot a certain matchup. And if you know how a matchup should be played, then you can most definitely play it
I'm
better
living
than
my
your opponents
best
who
life.
I guarantee you do not know how the matchup should be played. If you know what your champion's strengths and weaknesses are and their limits, then you can dictate what goes on, which is good. Hopefully our Kaisa comes back, because this is a great game. Honestly, like, we've been getting a lot of
As
kills
the
and
seasons change,
landing all
so
our
do
charms, so I would like to translate this into a win, but we'll see.
Light on my
I'm going to
feet.
take the red buff because I don't know when Kaisa's coming back. My team wants to fight. We're down numbers, but if we want to fight right now... Okay. My Nocturne killed the guy. I have charm in 2 seconds, so I'll go for that. Nice. Let's go. That was a good fight. Good job, team. I don't know how Nocturne won 2v1, but he did, so good job. Yeah. Any other questions I can answer? Let me think. Oh yeah. I mean, this is a big one. Hopefully I'll have enough time to answer this. I get this question all the time, and this is a very, like, not fun topic for me, to be honest. I get
carry the
people asking
legacy
me,
of the Vasani.
people I coach currently, the people I have coached previously, people who I've coached that weren't even a part of a team, right? Like individual coaching, which is something I've offered in the past. They ask me things like, what do I do when my teammates do this? Or how do I stop my teammates from throwing the game? Or what do I do when my teammates are bad, essentially, right? Like, that's basically what they're asking me. It's like, what do I do when I have bad teammates? What do I do when my teammates throw? What do I do when my teammates don't listen to my calls, right? This is a an extremely bad mindset to have if you're trying to improve at all in any capacity, whether it's solo queue or comp. Okay, this is a fixed mindset because you're focusing on things that you cannot control. My immediate response to anybody that asks me this, after I acknowledge on this million, my immediate response to anyone who asks me this is, you do literally nothing, you never worry about it again. Because you cannot control your teammates, right? You can ping all you want, you can hope that they listen. These are all fine things. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't try and work with your teammates. But if they don't listen, that's not your problem. It's not your problem, right? Like, we're taking this fight. If my teammates just decided to leave me right now, like, you know, that's not my problem. Right? Like, I just left my teammates to kill the Sylas. What if he double kills him? Like, that's my fault, but like, they don't need to worry about that. Being like influenced by what your teammates do in a negative way is never helpful for growth. Okay? That's very, very important. If you want to improve as a player, you should only focus on things you can control. And your teammates, especially if you're in lower ranks, you'll never see them again. You know, the odds of you playing with the same people are so unlikely that you don't even have to worry about it. You're not going to see them again. So, worry about what you can control. If they don't listen to your good call, then maybe next time make the call again, and hopefully they listen. But if you truly just focus on yourself and nothing else, then you will climb and you will improve. And if you will improve, then you will always gain your fight. Your goal going into a solo game, if you have this growth mindset instead of a fixed one, should always be to just do your best and improve on what you can improve on. It doesn't matter if you win or lose, because if you're getting better, you will win more than you lose. It doesn't matter if you get inted, it doesn't matter if, you know, like, you're in a game and somebody DCs, like my Kaisa DC'd this game, right? Like, what if she stayed gone and we lost? Like, it doesn't matter. It's not worth it, right? Like, I don't play, especially when I was trying to, like, improve, like, very consciously, I never queued up for a game being like, okay, all I want to do is win this game. Like, if that were the case, you know, people could just be shameless and pick, you know, Janna top when it was a thing, or, you know, just like really, really uninteractive champions and coin flip your way to high elo. Like, most people can do that if they have a standard, like a basic understanding of the game. But that's not why we play, right? We play to improve. So that is my long-winded answer on the question of what do I do when I have bad teammates, okay? If you have bad teammates, just say unlucky, focus on what you could have done better, because I guarantee you made many mistakes yourself, even if it had nothing to do with your teammates. And go to the next game with that knowledge of how to play your lane better, or go to that next game with the knowledge of how do I deal with like a super fed ADC, right? Like, it's kind of cliche, but it's the truth. Like, if somebody's fed, it's kind of just an opportunity to practice against somebody who's fed, especially if you play comp, right? Because you can flame your solo queue teammates all you want, but if you're like a decent person, you're not gonna just be out here flaming your comp teammates, right? So like, your teammate gets gapped in lane, you just use it as an experience to try and find out, can we deal with a fed Jinx? Can we deal with the fed Yunara? Like, what is my win condition this game, considering the game state? That's the focus. If things that are outside of your control end up happening. I hope that makes sense. Like, I hope I didn't ramble about it too much. Like, I was really trying for that to make sense, because I get that question almost more than any other question I get. And before this game ends, because hopefully they don't forfeit, but if they do, in case they do, I just wanted to say, like, anybody who's watching or watched this far, if you're listening to the commentary, seriously, if you have any question at all, just leave a comment. I will guarantee to answer your question, right? If there's not enough people and like messaging or like watching the videos for me to have an issue when it comes to. So if you have a question and you want to know what I think, or like from my experience, like how I would look at it, just ask, right? There's no bad questions. You want to ask me how to deal with bad teammates, and like I will do my best to answer. I have a lot of experience, years of experience competing at like, you know, not the pro level, but pretty close to the pro level, like especially in solo queue, playing against pros constantly. And then I have a bunch of experience the past 2 years as a coach, from players from gold to literally challenger. I've coached a emerald team, plat team, diamond team, grandmaster team, and challengers. So like,
won't
I've
forget
seen
what
it
it
all,
means to
or I've
steal
seen
a
at least a
heart.
good portion. Um, and even though I don't know everything, because like nobody does, I still feel like I have something to offer when it comes to knowledge about the game. Um, so with that being said, like you know, I guess it's like a bonus, right? If
A
you
body
watch this long or
nourished,
if you pay
a
attention this
soul
much, then
fed.
you know you'll get first dibs on any question you have to ask. Also, like I said at the beginning of the video, any requests on champions
Quick as a
matchups,
fox.
um, different roles or anything like this, I'll definitely take into consideration. Like I said, this is like my fourth game back in the new season, so as I climb, like I wouldn't be opposed to trying out a couple different roles or anything like that, right? I could even do something like a solo queue to challenger like series or something like that, because mainly when I record, you know, it's about commentary, it's about how what my thought process is, how to improve things like this. But if we want more
Let's run.
like
So
less
much I
talking,
want to see
more
for
try hard,
myself.
trying to climb, seeing, you know, the ups and downs of solo queue and high elo, like let me know. Like I can definitely do that. I know a lot of people do that, but if it's something that people are interested in watching me do, then I'll definitely do it as well.
Like this forest.
Alright, we're getting out of here though. I think for the most part this has been pretty successful background gameplay. Like nothing crazy, but
Light on my feet. Live with no regrets.
winning lots of fights. Sylas is up here. Got to care of it. My Nocturne is super dead.
An
We'll
ally
just try
has
and get
been
our
slain.
waves pushed while, yeah, and try and death push them.
I cannot be too. Quick as a fox.
We're just trying to slow them down here because our jungler is dead, so we need to make sure they can't just rush at the Baron. Nice. Okay, Yara is really strong. But now they will do the Baron because we overextended, but it's
None
okay.
will met your outfit.
Hopefully you don't throw. I think either way, win or loss, this is going to be online because I think I got a lot of good like ideas
I
about
still remember his
what
laugh.
when it comes to frequently asked questions of mine, or that I get at least. And you know, I mean, the Sylas has helped me have a really great game by just fighting me constantly, so that's been fun and helpful. Yunara is our focus here. That was just a little bit awkward because we just took a really split fight. Nocturne went in by himself, right? That's kind of a really great example of something that I would not care at all about when it comes to review. And if you need tips on review, right, something that I used to do a lot is like, I would just watch my laning phase back. I wouldn't watch the whole
I'm
game.
living
Watching an
my
entire
best
game
life.
of review can be very boring and drag a lot. So something I used to do is just watch my laning phases back, especially in queue, right? My queue times, like before they've been like trying to work on queue times, I would have 10, 15-minute queue times, 20-minute queue times sometimes. In those queue times, so you know what I'm doing? I'm literally just pulling up my recording software and watching my laning phases back to try and figure out what I did right and what I did wrong. If you don't have the time to do that, you don't want to do that, it's something else I like to do, watch all my deaths. Wow, I just got one shot. Time to watch that one. 0.3 seconds of combat.
Tag.
Oh no, it's just 0.3 seconds of CC. But anyways, let's sell this. Look for Blighting Jewel. Not the worst death in the world. Like, yeah, of course you don't want to be giving shutdowns, but I was face checking, and then since I died and we spotted their whole team, Nocturne got to shove all the way to tower, so they're not getting anything out of the Baron. We do have Cloud Soul now, so we're pretty strong. I'm just falling off when it comes to like being ahead when it comes to damage.
Your turret has been
Their
destroyed.
Jace is almost full build, so that's a little scary. Sylas is still not very useful. I need to find an angle onto Yunara. We have enough engage that I think it'll be okay. We just have to get onto Yunara as a team. In this instance, I'm gonna go Shadow my Ornn because I can't make it to bot lane in time, and I think Sylas is actually low. So if he stays at this tower, I could just maybe jump him.
I hear the wind singing.
And if not, it's okay. We don't really want to fight now that we're all split up.
I carry the legacy of the Vasani.
Not too bad of a game when it comes to like performance, considering I was talking the entire time not about what was happening on the screen. So hopefully it's entertaining, or hopefully it's educational at all.
So
Like I
many
think
memories stir within me.
a lot of people ask me these questions whenever I'm talking to them personally, so I just feel like, you know, being able to maybe answer those questions if somebody doesn't have someone to ask could be really good.
I should have left home years
When it comes to this game right now, what we're kind of waiting for is just kind of group for an objective, probably Baron. I'm almost as strong as I can get, so there's not really anything to do there. I would like to get level 16, but it's going to be hard.
I lived and
We need to not get
live in a
picked here. I'm
temple.
going to try and run this way, but if I can, it's okay. Thanks, I got the taunt. I'm going to try and taunt this guy too. Missed it. Tower's dead, so it should be working.
Double kill.
Good job. See if we can end the game here. That'd be nice.
Your turret has been destroyed.
That was 45 even. That's just kind of like how strong they are.
Destroyed an
Every
inhibitor.
animal hungers for
He
something.
was calling for it, so we definitely try it. Kaisik him, and I can probably end. Nice. This is gonna be a great game, honestly. It was a fun game. I knew I could probably talk through my thought process of like FAQs whenever I'm playing Ahri, because she's pretty easy. I'm very comfortable playing her, but either way, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you learned something, and I'll catch you in the next one.